It is easy to become numb to media bias these days, so the Ingraham angle kept track of the worst offenders of the week. Joining me now to discuss is Adriana Cohen, a radio host and nationally syndicated columnist, and Alexandra Wilkes, an attorney and senior vice president at America Rising. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get right down to it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So let's start with the media's shameless. It's great to see you. Let's start with the media's shameless defense of the squad. First, MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell denied that any of the 4 squad members are socialist.
There's not a single member of these congressional representatives who are avowed socialists.
All right, there you go. And today, Washington Post White House bureau chief, he's repeating that same claim. Phil Rucker repeated the same false claim.
This debate is not about socialism. It's about it's what the president started on Sunday, which is a racist attack on these 4 women of color.
Oh, boy. Adriana, so when did we enter the twilight zone? You might have the answer because I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, Andrea Mitchell is wrong. This squad, there are many socialists within the Democrat Party. That's where the party has radically steered to the left. We've seen, especially over the past year and a half. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a self-avowed socialist. Same with Bernie Sanders. So she has totally missed the mark there. And if we look at all the other presidential contenders that are running now, so many of them are so far to the left, and they're embracing socialist policies such as the disastrous Green New Deal. They want to expand our government into every aspect of our lives. So there's no question that the Democrat Party is no longer moderate. They are veering very close to socialism.
Yeah. And Alexandra, wouldn't you say, though, that this might indicate that they know that this is troubling and that it's not a good position to take, and in a way that they're helping them along to try to erase the negativity that Americans see socialism as?
Absolutely. Journalists are smart, and they know that AOC and her socialist views are absolutely toxic when it comes to voters. And if I were AOC, I might be a little offended by Andrea Mitchell. She wears that socialist badge so proudly, and here Andrea Mitchell is trying to take it away from her.
Good point. All right. Now, that's excellent. Next, it would not be a worst in media segment without the ladies at The View.
Why can't he be brought up on charges of hate speech?
Sorry.
Why can't he be sued by the ACLU for hate speech? I don't get it. How does he get away with this?
Alexandra, obviously, maybe you know where Joy Behar can get a free pocket constitution, because that was a confusing position to take.
You know, all these years when liberals were throwing out parts of the Bill of Rights, I always thought it was just because they didn't like those parts, not that they didn't understand them. And particularly when it comes to the First Amendment, we know that liberals love to embrace it, except when it doesn't embrace what they like. And so, I think that Joy Behar's Orwellian, comment on The View is quite troubling for the state of civics in our country.
Yeah, Adriana, we know that is actually a position in the European Constitution. Maybe that's what they prefer is Europe and how they approach these issues, as opposed to the American way.
That's right. And if you notice, so many of these Democrats, they only believe in the First Amendment of free speech when it comes to what they want to say. But for some reason, they don't think that the leader of the free world, the President of the United States, has a right to free speech. Well, it just doesn't work that way.
All right. Well, there you go with that. Ladies, thank you very much. I want now your thoughts on MSNBC's Donnie Deutsch's latest brain spasm.
And I want to talk to the white people out there, okay? I want to talk to wealthy white people. We are heading to such a dangerous place, and guess what? You look at history, it can happen here. Maybe it's the Jews next.
Adriana, considering what's been said by the AOC plus 3 when it comes to the Jewish people, why do Democrats ignore their own violent rhetoric?
Exactly. I mean, if you look at the anti-Semitic comments that, Rep. Omar has made, the anti-Semitic tropes, Rashida Tlaib has called Israel racist. These two women, these two congresswomen support, BDS. They're totally anti-Israel. And so it's such rubbish, basically, that Donnie Deutsch is saying, trying to portray President Trump as being anti-Israel. It just patently false. There is no greater friend to Israel and the Jewish people than President Trump. And we see that every single day, whether that's him moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and recognizing Jerusalem as the rightful capital of Israel, or, and so many other things that he's done. And if he has to look at the squad and look at their anti-Semitic comments before he makes these, where he starts fear-mongering, which is so totally harmful for our country.
Alexandra, the problem is that it is so disconnected from the reality that we all know. That is what is so bizarre here. Are there still people watching some of these programs who don't know? Do you think that's the case? Quickly.
Well, look, I think that's what Donnie Joyce is hoping for. Representative Omar famously said reprehensibly that it was all about the Benjamins. It's all about amnesia for the Democrats on this issue.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. Great stuff. I know this is the fast-paced dynamic here, and there's just so much. I appreciate you joining us. Now,
Thanks
next
for having us.
On this special edition